12. I will be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll also be starting my reaction in 1-0 go. Alright, I'm pumped up for this. Apparently, it's the season finale today. Okay, I guess it's starting with no credits this week. Oh shit. Well, at least no opening credits from the looks of things. Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, she might not perceive it as a big deal, but pretty sure when it comes to that, it's more on the impressive side. Oh. And I think Ichiko should definitely do that because she might actually be taking for granted that Ryo might not be calling her. Yeah, I'm actually on Ryo's side here. Ichigo's gonna have to take some initiative. And you know, I like the face that Ryo's making. Where Ryo's making the face of, you have to be able to take the initiative. That's true. Actually, considering the fact that Ryo's put himself out there, he does deserve at least a straight answer or not. I mean, it's a tough situation for Ichiko regardless, but she's got to be decisive eventually. And I do like how Ryo's reaction is realistic, too. Oh, that's not such a huge gap. That's not a huge gap considering the fact that how old is Ryogen? Like 25 and Ichigo's 17? So it's more of like an 8-year gap, which again, it wouldn't be. It's not that big. It's. I think, of course, Joe would wait. Because there's anything that he would do anything for Ichigo. Hell, even waiting a year would be something that he'd easily do. I wouldn't be surprised if Mother has some kind of inkling. I mean, there's a reason why mothers are mothers, though. They're able to look at the finer details of their children and even like the most subtle facial expressions or body language. But I like that scene though. It's really nuanced, but it pretty much, and another way told us that yeah, she knows that Ichika has a thing for real. I actually really love that scene there. Oh snap! Well, and he did it with absolute calmness too. Usually there'd be more excitement in Rio's voice. Holy. Yo! But I have a feeling though, going out the context, Rio might actually be busy because he doesn't look none too completely happy about this. Or it could just be a super paranoid as hell. Ah! Whoa! Okay, yeah, there is definitely something off because usually. You know what? I do think that maybe. Huh. Oh. And you can definitely tell Ichiko feels something is up too. But now the biggest question though is why is Rio reacting that way? I mean, I guess I'm not gonna blame him considering what went down in episode 11, where Ichigo did hesitate to put out that at least Rio and Ichigo had something when it comes to a relationship. I could see why Rio would be acting a bit cold and distant. Because even though at the time, while I might not have seen much to Ichigo, it actually was a lot when she tried to hide that. Oh, stop! Well, you know what? At the very least, I would like to assume that the only one in Rio's heart right now is Ichigo, but you never know about. No. I don't think Ichigo should be worried completely, but I'm not going to blame her if she keeps her distance. Alright, that's a good sign. At the very least, Ichigo still lives rent free in Rio's mind there. Yo! But it's also vice versa too. Right now, Rio lives rent free in Ichigo's mind. On the positive side. You know, looking at that kind of does make him want McDonald's. I ain't gonna lie. Even though it's a McDonald's parody, it's kind of making me hungry. Look at it. I like how you can tell how Rio really wants to details the way she's like tapping her foot. Like just those little details elevate the dialogue for me. Oh! Whoa! Never thought there'd be the day where you would have Ichigo saying that straight up. Huh! But in a way, you know what? Ichigo's growing. Because the older wouldn't have been inclined to saying things like that. Because early on in the series, Ichigo would have tried to ask for as much help. Yes! Oh, no, no, no. That's where she's wrong. So it looks like it's a. Well, at least now we know it's a self confidence issue at the very least. Okay, Ichigo's fashionable and smart. Exactly. That should really only be the standards that matter. And plus, if we're talking about Ichigo, she's mature for her age. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. She just needs more self confidence. Hmm. No. Oh, Honestly, he's just one of the most adorable characters in the series. Well, her and Ichigo. I don't think she has anything to apologize for at all when it comes to her being honest with her feelings. Oh. 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 Finally! And honestly, that's been a long time coming too. Because they've always had real profess how much he does love our Ichigo, but it's finally nice to get to see that it's going to be Ichigo's turn that's going to do that. I always love the mid episode cards. They always have something that just looks visually good. Oh. Ah. Yeah, I actually been waiting to hear his perspective. You know, I think I'm starting to feel another reason as to why he. I mean, you know what? Fear is natural in this spot because considering that if he were, I think he might actually be able to take care of Ichigo because a relationship ain't just a one-way relationship; it's two-way. I think they do a best way of covering for each other and taking care of each other, if you ask me. But you know what? His fears are pretty natural. But at the same time, though, our boy's gonna have to just push away those fears. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna blame Masuda if he punches Rio. Mm-hmm. He ain't wrong. Yeah, actually, Rio did say that early on in the series. Hmm. I mean, in a way, that's kind of a good thing, though, because in life, it ain't like you're gonna have a game plan for every single situation. Sometimes you're just gonna have to react. Not to say there's nothing wrong with planning initiatives and all that, but it's gotta be a mix of just plain reacting to what's in front of you. I don't think you would. If anything, just any signs of communication would instantly make the situation better. Nah! Mawson ain't being a bully. He just needs the kick in the figurative ass that our boy Rio needs right now. Ah. Oh, that's really sweet, too, of the bartender. And going the extra mile of giving our boys extra service. I wonder. Oh. Yeah, I think it's best that Rio says nothing for now. But I did love there how she was almost ready to say something. And you know something like about that scene, even though yes, Rio didn't say anything, I love the way she was like touching the book as she was contemplating saying something like those little attention to detail that this episode has with like the body language really gives a lot of the nice scenes in the episode a lot of cool visual build up. You know, at the very least, Rio's owed that much considering that it is Rio's father. Aww. And I love the little emoji with like the kitty too. It is just so damn adorable. Oh, I actually do hope it's our Dio and not someone else, but you never know. Considering this episode kind of did like a surprisal bit earlier when it made it seem like it was Ichigo, but it actually ended up being someone else that just happened to have the similar hairstyle towards Ichigo. Finally! We're seeing Ichigo become much more assertive now. Now this is satisfying, especially considering how the first few 11 episodes of the series went down. It kind of reminds me of the start of the series, where Ario almost fell on the stairs, actually. But then she helped prevent him from falling. Kind of giving us some nice sense of deja vu there. Oh, it happened! And I gotta admit, that is like the perfect way of implementing an insert song. Oh, now it's gonna be Orio's turn to help Ichigo. Yes! Hey, you know Ichigo has every right of being pissed off. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't just gracefully dodge that question. He hasn't. Okay, at least he's being honest now. The thing that Rio has to consider is that he isn't really forcing his feelings anymore because it's Ichigo that appeared before him this time. Because if Ichigo didn't care about Rio, she would have just taken the opportunity to break off the relationship with Rio the moment he rejected the offer to date. Oh yeah, he deserves a slap. Yep, he actually deserved that in this instance. Hmm. Exactly. Oh. I just love the mindfuck face that Rio's got when she said that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like the moment they showed this person, I was like, yeah, definitely reminds me of episode one. Like that was the first thing on my mind. And you know that's why the title is called "You're Creepy." And you know I like how that puts in context to why, at least from the get-go, Ichigo didn't positively react to Rio's feelings, at least at the beginning. I actually like that. But the thing is, though, Rio's filled up with lots of balls. Oh, yeah! Oh. Yes! Even though it was a distant kiss shot scene, fuck it, I'll take that. I mean, hey, it wouldn't be real if he feels himself after that, after something like that happened. It would actually feel like an entirely different person. Hmm. Man, I think he'd naturally be able to do that. Especially considering how much he loves Ichika. Whoa! Yep, it means exactly that, and probably our boy is a masochist deep down. But in his very core to be saying that. But you know what? I mean that in an endearing way, though. Hmm. Alright, at the very least he's saying it out there. And at least now, Real also understands the perspective of his father completely, too. Hmm. I mean, at least, I mean, yeah, Real may be stubborn, but that's part of his good trait, though. Well, one of his good traits. Hey, you know, ending it off with this note. Actually, completely dig it. Oh. But that's life sometimes. You may have a good life, but yeah, there's at one point in time, there's always going to be regrets here and there. It's realistic. Gotta admit now, this is the type of optimistic ending I was hoping for, actually. Aww. Aww. Alright. You know, that final line actually fit in with the episode, too. And I absolutely love how that final line pretty much closed up a good amount of the plot points in the Koikimo series, too. Now, if I were to rate this episode overall, I gotta say, I'm definitely gonna give it a 9 out of 10. And here's why. Let me break down why. For one, I actually love how this week the animators were on point. While yes, there were a few things that you can tell there were some cost-cutting measures, like when you saw some of the crowds moving, it was a bit CGI-esque. For the most part, all the 2D animated bits were pretty dang good, if I had to be honest. Like, say, the body language when Rio was touching the binder while she was calling her brother. The kiss scene, even though it was a distant shot, it did look good. And pretty much the scene where Ichigo is being emotional towards Rio was absolutely and utterly gorgeous. So from a visual standpoint, for the most part, it was mostly flawless. Mostly. And from an art standpoint, it was pretty damn good. All the character designs were on model. There wasn't definitely nothing that made me go, oh man, this feels completely out of place. Except for, again, those finer bits when you see the CGI crowds. But those are just minor because that was just background animation. Now, from a story standpoint, I gotta say, even though, yes, I would have loved, say, a bit, I would have loved to have seen a bit more, maybe a time skip scene, just seeing our Ichigo and Ryo older, just to see him be a bit more open in the relationship. Only because in last week's episode, you saw Ichigo pretty much deny in episode 11 that she had a thing going on with Ryo. So I would have loved to have seen maybe them be at least a bit more lovey-dovey in like a time skip sequence. But hey, you know what? Considering that most romance animes usually don't even have a damn confession and they go absolutely nowhere, I'll take this, where at least it gives us a kiss and a confession. And that's better than a good portion of romance animes. While it isn't the creme of the creme, because the creme of the creme sometimes do go above the call of duty and actually sometimes giving us a fall through, sometimes giving us a time skip, and some of them even go beyond the call of duty to showing the main couple in like a relationship for like a full episode. I love what the series provided. I just gotta mention that because since it is the final episode now, I can somewhat compare and contrast what it has done versus other romance animes in similar or the same genre. But overall, though, I love the amount of story progression for the finale. So that's why, in case you're wondering why I gave it the final episode a 10 out of 10, not a 9 out of... why I gave the final episode 9 out of 10, I meant to say 9 out of 10 out of 10. It's for that very reason. But overall, though, for the final episode, it had a lot of plot progression, though, because finally, we did have a confession scene. We did have a lot of character development for Ichigo, because she now straight up admits, yes, she does love Ryo, instead of it being Ryo doing much of the building the relationship. It was Ichigo's turn, and it was about damn time, too. So I love that. And that's why I absolutely adored the episode. Hell, I even love that bit where Ichigo didn't want Ryo to interfere too bit, because early on in the series, she tried to ask for as much help as possible from Ryo. Now you see our girl Ichigo acting a bit more independently. So I even love development like that, too. That's why I absolutely adored the script in Koikimo's 12th episode. And also, from a voice performance standpoint, aside from the script being great, from a voice standpoint, it was pretty damn good. And I even love that little addition with the insert song right near the end of the episode, too. I thought it was cleverly placed. As for the series overall, if I did have to rate it on a scale of 1 out of 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'll definitely give it a 7 out of 10 for good. While it isn't the most amazing romance-centered series I've seen, and aside from a few aesthetic issues the series had, sometimes you can tell in comparison to other animes, it does have a bit of like distorted audio issues, and that's what I'm watching on Crunchyroll, because other animes on Crunchyroll don't have the similar issues. I had to give it a 7 out of 10 versus say a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. And then things that prevent it from being a 9 out of 10 is that even though it accomplishes a good amount, it sometimes didn't do things like, say, flesh out some of like the side characters as much as I wanted to, like Tamura and also Ariete. So that's where I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because it was pretty damn good for an anime in its genre, because anything above 5 is above average. But at the same time, I can't give it an 8 or a 9, because I've seen some romance animes accomplish more and say a similar set of episodes or more sets of episodes. But overall, I did love what I saw from a script standpoint. And overall, I did love what they did with Ryo and Ichigo and Ryo. Those are like the three characters that were really damn fleshed out, and they really carried these scenes for me. Just wish a bit of the side characters would have been, you know, emphasized a little bit more here and there. But overall, really damn good series. And yeah, these are my thoughts on the final episode and also the series in general, everyone. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the series itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all very much for watching my video, and I hope y'all have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.